Hello, this is Tamsin Astor. I want to talk to you guys today about what a keystone habit is. So when we are trying to figure out how to create and cultivate a new habit, there are lots of different approaches out there, right? Particularly with the new year, we think let's join a gym, let's change our eating habits, let's cut out sugar, let's cut out caffeine, drink more tea, whatever it is. But the problem is when we start committing to lots and lots of habits, we start with this great verve, this great excitement, this great engagement, and we think, yes, I'm going to do it, I'm going to quit all these things, I'm going to start doing all these positive things, and inevitably we run out of energy, we run out of commitment, we just get too overwhelmed with trying to make all of these changes, and so then we stop. And then we feel shitty because we have not committed to all of these changes that we promised ourselves that we would stick to. And we end up in a situation where we fall off the wagon, for want of a better analogy. So what I want to talk to you about today was thinking about this in a different way. So instead of making lots and lots of little changes, I want you to think about one. Can you make one change which will then have this spiral-on effect or this follow-on effect in other areas of your life? So if you guys are familiar with an arch, you think about these old arches in Mesopotamia. The keystone is that one wedgy arch in the middle. I used to have for my children a St. Louis arch made of little wooden chunks that you try and hold together. And you needed two people to bring it together and wedge that one in. But the point is that keystone habit, that keystone in the arch and the keystone habit is the one thing that holds everything else together and creates this spiraling on effect of other habits. So what I want you to think about in your life is there one habit that you notice when you commit to that creates a spiral-on effect? Me, I notice that if I meditate every morning, and it doesn't have to be an in-depth, long Buddhist meditation, which I occasionally do, it just has to be sitting quietly for 5 to 15 minutes, allowing my mind to settle, and then when it wanders off on my to-do lists and wanders off on all the things that I need to think about, I gently remind myself that I'm thinking and I come back to the breath. That when I engage in that habit, my day goes more smoothly. I tend to argue less with people, I tend to react less to stressful situations, I tend to make better, healthier choices about my food, about whether or not I'm going to do exercise. So that habit for me is my keystone. When I engage in that habit, it allows me to have a profound effect, or allows me to have a follow-on effect, which is profound in my life, right, of all these other habits which spiral into place. For other people, it's exercise. If you wake up every morning and you commit to doing 10, 20 minutes of exercise where you're bringing the breath into and out of the body, and that could be maybe getting up and taking your dog for a march around the block, it could be getting up and doing a P90X video in your basement. There, I'm aging myself saying video, aren't I? P90X DVD or live streaming in your basement, or it could be doing some simple push-ups or some yoga poses in the corner of your bedroom while your spouse continues to snore. That is the thing that creates the follow-on effect. That committing to that activity, that habit, then makes you feel better so that you make better food choices, you make better choices about who you talk to and how you talk to people during the day, that you have more energy, that you sleep better, and so on, right? So it creates this spiral effect. So think about your world, think about your life, think about little habit changes that over the last 5, 10, 15 years you've experimented with, adding something or removing something, and how it's affected the rest of your life. Once you've noticed that and you've thought about that in a profound way, write it down. Commit to it. Commit to making that change and doing it every day for 90 days. Thanks for listening.